Hello and welcome back to Wolf vs. Ponies. This is going to be a quick video, informative, about the upcoming MLP 2017 movie that I saw Dr. Wolf do, and apparently there were also quite a bit of leaks to it from Sony. Good job, business executives. So, yeah, there's not going to be any sort of animation in this because I really just want to get this out as fast as I can because I want to get my thoughts on it while the bandwagon's still hyped, I guess. So, there was a thing from WikiLeaks that I pulled up about it. However, let's look at it as a whole. Sea Ponies is possibly going to play in here, and they said that they're going to try to do a Lord of the Rings feel to it. Okay, well, this is My Little Pony. That only works some of the times, and I don't think they need this movie. It's just mainly more of a cash-in. This could be better if it was an episodic arc. Dr. Wolf wants it to be... because it was supposed to come out in, I think it was summer of 2017, but Dr. Wolf wants it pushed back to get a more quality movie rather than just a cheap cash-in, which, yeah, I can agree on that. However, it's like, when it comes to Sony, a lot of them are not bronies working there, so they do not know a whole lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna pull up a quick email from WikiLeaks on the screen. You're gonna see it, and it's gonna do like a zoom pan thing. For me, I'm reading it. So this was from, I think it was from one of the workers. I'm going to read the first one from an email who works at Sony Entertainment. Probably going to bleep that out now. So let's have a marketing look. Guys, look at it and find out if girls in the center want to come see the movie. That's a smart idea. I can see why you want to do that and why you want to distribute it. It's tough because if they want to do the script, it's the small... they pay for the movie version, and if we were interested, we could distribute, because as a person with minimal knowledge, I found it hard to understand and access the world. All the characters are simply presented as Twilight's friends in Ponyville. That's one of the first small problems. If the characters are seen only as Twilight's friends and not individual characters, how are new people going to come into this, such as like parents or people are like anti-bronies who are just there, who were brought by their friends just to piss all over the thing. Like, yeah, how are they going to make the other 5 characters and possibly Starlight Glimmer? I hope Starlight Glimmer's not in it. Please keep her out, Hasbro. But how are they going to see all of the other friends? Are they literally just Twilight's friends, or are they other characters that actually play a part in this? Also, who are writing these songs and performing them? The idea is to have the real actors and singers do the voices. Songs in a Lord of the Rings kind of movie. Are you kidding me, Hasbro? I get it. This is My Little Pony. We want songs, but they also said that these songs are going to try to fit in with the current emotion, or might change the emotion. In other words, songs are going to be thrown about everywhere and may not match the actual emotion. Good job, Hasbro. You don't need songs for this movie. All you need is for the theme and the ending, and if you have a post-credit scene, which I hope you do. But as of that, why do you need songs? You do not need songs if you're going to do this movie. Sure, you've done it with EQ, with the Equestrian Girls movies, but for this, I don't think you need any songs. Just present it as a movie, not a musical. Why has everyone come to honor the 3 princesses and the 6 ponies? For bronies who are going to see the movie, we know why. They saved Nightmare Moon, and the princesses are royalty. However, when it comes to these new people, they're just going to see that, oh, they're the main characters, and they're the princesses. That's why everybody loves them. That's all they see to it. What does the bearded mean the other alicorn? Okay, this is where I'm going to have another problem. How is Star Swirl the Bearded in this movie at all? That makes no sense, mainly because he should be dead just due to age itself. So how does he know about the other alicorn, which I'm assuming is going to be Twilight, or possibly even Cadence? How does he have this knowledge? Are they going to time travel back or something? How is Star Swirl the Bearded know the future? He's not a farseer like Raylan from Sucker Fantasy Chapter 1, which you should probably go check it out on my other channel. I'll leave it in the description and also annotation and a thing up top. So, yeah. It sort of feels like you walked into the middle of an episode rather than a movie. Now if new people are going to come and see this movie, that is going to hurt return watchers, whatever that rate is called. If these people have no idea what's going on and it's like the middle of an episode, that's a huge problem. It really is. Alicorn's Lost City. Why do we that's the other thing. There's going to be more lore about alicorns. Sure, that's good, but is it what you want? This is like Blizzard recently. There are people that are asking for vanilla World of Warcraft to come back, and one of the guys from Blizzard dev team said, I know you guys say you want it, but you really don't.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
This is the same thing. Do we really want Alicorn lore, or are we happy knowing that Twilight and Cadence got it for performing some duty? Do we need to know the backstory for Celestia and Luna? Because back in Season 1 and Season 2, yeah, that would make sense. We should know more about them. But as time moves on, those characters are getting just swept under sort of like the couch to collect dust. They're not as important characters as they were back then, so I don't think we need this lore, actually. I'm gonna fight against the lore about alicorns right now. We do not need it, because there are not that many alicorns, and Twilight is just Twilight. She's not an alicorn being of some kind. She's just an alicorn she's an alicorn, but she's Twilight Sparkle. Twilight Sparkle as an alicorn, not an alicorn named Twilight Sparkle. I'm putting emphasis on that because Twilight Sparkle as an alicorn means you focus more on the character. An alicorn named Twilight Sparkle means you're putting more focus on what an alicorn is and the history behind that. We do not need that. This should be more so for the growth of Twilight, which for some reason, that's part of the plot. Twilight wants to prove herself to Celestia. After 6 seasons, why is she still needing to prove this to Celestia? Is Celestia blind or something? But good God! That's stupid! Come up with a better plot of how to employ the plot instead of, oh, I'm Twilight Sparkle, I better teach my mentor that I can do this. No! You've proven time and time and time again. We do not need that to be the opener of the plot. Oh yeah, there's apparently 3 stones that give you control of the natural elements. I don't know what those 3 stones are, because if we were to look at the elements, that would be earth, wind, and fire. Because in ancient Greece, those were the only 3 elements until water was added. So water is not one of the main elements. For this, it might just be earth, wind, and fire. Kind of like the band. There's also another thing I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, they're getting ripped off. The main villain is named Brother Cosmos, and we don't have a whole lot about it. Apparently Cosmos thinks the princesses ordered him to stay in Equestrian, blah blah blah. So he's gonna fight them for some unknown reason. Shining Armor's gonna be in it. Is all this gonna make sense to anyone? It's gonna make sense only to the fans. I'm saying that. And also Shining Armor. You are a pussy. Why are you going to be in it? If this is going to redeem you, Hasbro, you're going to need to pull a lot out of that magic hat of yours, because Shining Armor, coming from a male perspective, is the worst male character almost. Spike is a better male character, and that says a lot, because a lot of people, Spike is abused constantly. Who and what are Ignis Aquos? I have no idea what that means, actually. The only thing I can think about that is Ignis is fire and Aquos is water. Like from Latin, Greek, Roman, whatever roots they are. And also, my thing just lit up. Sorry about that. I put my charger in. The coral sands appear to know how to get them out, but can't get them out themselves. That is stupid. How the freak does sand have sentience? Why all of a sudden do the sisters just decide they have the power to confront wait, what? Okay. Apparently Celestia and Luna think that they can stop Cosmos, or unless we're talking about the CMC, which I hope they don't. Showing the relationship between each of them and their little sisters have some variety, so it looks like the CMC are going to have some play in this, but the relationships with them is very minimal, just like it is in the series. It's almost all the same, little to do with Apple Bloom has no character, Sweetie Belle is something else, Scootaloo is the brash one. Merger Powerpuff Girl ripoffs. So, yeah, and this I find is actually kind of sad. Except for Rarity, they don't have much personality. Rarity has the most personality. I'm gonna say that a third time. Rarity has the most personality. What the heck are you doing, writers? If Rarity has the most personality, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. That is just too much for me. Because I actually hate, I do not like Rarity as a character. See the Behind the Pony for Rarity, I do not like Rarity at all. But if she has the most personality, that is sad. So, what else is there in this little hat? Oh, and then an explosion of rainbows. So we're gonna see the elements of harmony again. Oh, joy. Again, if we bring the ponies into our world or something like Smurfs, so that's mainly going to Equestrian Girls, which already happened, sadly. And at the top of the email, we send this marketing as you suggest. Obviously they're going to change, I hope they change quite a bit of this, because it does not sound good already. And other notes I've found from another guy, which had quite a bit of obscenities, is there's something about a creature named Longma, which I looked up, and Longma is derived from two words, which are Chinese, meaning dragon and horse. Combine that, that's dragon horse, or it also refers to a word, eminent person. So either Longma is a dragon horse, or is going to be a dragon horse god that has all this knowledge that apparently they give fruit to get information, I'm hoping, about this Cosmos guy. Cosmos, with a name like that, I don't know what is going to happen, okay? It's like, with the title Brother, it sounds like it's going to be a cult. And if it's a giant octopus, it just feels like they're ripping off of Hearthstone's old god Cthulhu, which is kind of sad when you have to do that. Okay? Hopefully we get... Yeah, and for those who don't know what an alicorn is, or mainly for those who don't even know what this series is, as we just went, you are coming into this series whether you like it or not, blah blah blah, give us your money. Also, apparently Longma is with Dragon Horse, it's more like a Pegasus than it is a dragon. Another email revealed that Brother Cosmos is a poorly written fan fiction. That's actually kind of funny when I first read that. To call this movie an entire fan fiction. Apparently this Brother Cosmos also can control the stars, which makes sense from his name Cosmos, but Luna has control of the night. Wouldn't that be more of her ability? Or does she just literally control the moon and that's all? Which, if that's it, Luna, you are a weak character, Celestia is a weak character, Cosmos, let the stars fall for that 5 mana. Also, a character named Water Lily. If you don't know, Water Lily was a sea pony from Generation 1. I don't know much about it. I tried to get information, but yeah, I couldn't find a whole lot of her other than her toy information. Good job there, Pony Wikia. So, yeah, there's going to be some nostalgia for old fans, I'm guessing. And, yeah, and the other email is, this would be a lot easier if it was just an Equestrian Girls movie. Because it's simple. It's just bringing ponies into a human world and giving them a problem. That's a lot easier than taking ponies, transforming them into these sea ponies, which is apparently going to happen, sadly. That's one of their plans. They want them to go underwater. And yeah, they wanted to try to go Lord of the Rings, which I get, but then it's like, at first when I heard that they were going to make a movie with the pony characters, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I want to go see that. But now when I'm looking at all these leaks, I am really not wanting to go to this. And this was going to be the first movie that I went to in theater. The other ones I had to buy on iTunes, sadly, because I missed the first one, and then the other 2 movies were never shown in theaters, which I hated so much. So somehow songs are going to be in here, which, yeah, I hate. Apparently there are also going to be something like hippogriffs, you know, like Silver Quill, and hopefully they do him justice, but I actually don't think they will. It really is just me. With this, we're going to get a lot more fan fiction, and because of this, a lot of the backstories we've created for characters is going to get thrown away. So, Inkros, any of your hard work might get trampled on for your backstories. But yeah, like I said, this would work a lot better just as an episodic arc, because that way the songs can be implemented in properly, and then no one really gets offended. And an episodic arc, better than the Rarity arc, would probably be a lot better than a full-length movie. So, this movie, I almost want to pass this up. And this is I call myself a half brony because I'm not into the full thing, but I really don't even see this movie as being any good. If right now I probably rate it a 6 or 5, but that's almost out of pity that I don't want to rate it even lower. So just minor edits in this one. The next video I'm going to try to do either another Behind the Pony or looking at the social aspects. So yeah, stay tuned for this movie.